All right. So last time, shop and item stuff. Like circa 2 weeks ago, there were like 6 different item data classes. There was like a shop item, there was an item you pick up, and then there was the item that actually had the functionality. There were like 3 different managers. It was a real rat's nest. It was bad. Um, that is all good now. It's got a single item manager class. End of day yesterday, I tried adding like 3 new items. Took me like 5 minutes. So I think the new item data manager class and the single like stuff is all good now. Shop as well, I think is in like a good enough state for the pre-alpha. I did hit 2 B-sides last stream. Hopefully my old computer is fixed now. I cracked that open and I took off the heat, the pump, whatever. And it looked like there was like no thermal paste left. It was all like dried up and gone. It has been like 7 years since I built this computer, so I think the CPU is just overheating, and that's what caused the B-sides. I still want to use my old computer for continuous integration builds and automated testing, but those would be something I try and get set up after this pre-alpha milestone. I have been too optimistic on the pre-alpha milestone, which is like a classic programmer thing, but we are getting pretty close. Today we are preparing the main level. This is all like enemies and plants and stuff for the main level, and that'll be pretty much it. After that, it's just gonna be bug fixes and deployment specific issues like phone UI and stuff. Um, I guess as a preview, that's what we're doing today. We're setting up like the stuff that goes in the first level, the meadow, the enemies for that, and changing the plant spawning for that. And if we get all that set, we'll try and make it so that when we get to the end of the level, we can progress to a next level, and the difficulty values are probably being plumbed through and stuff. Um, so yeah, the bulk of the work I did offline this week was finishing up those shop fixes, shop fully functional. Now I think I can show off some of that stuff here. I did it a bit at the beginning, but I can hop back in now. So, nothing too new here yet. I should have. Oh, I made it. Cool. There's a shop. The dash does really help navigating around. All right, so we have up to 9 items we can have in the shop. Or I guess 8. It's 9 is including this like exit item. I think that's going to be plenty. I think it's going to start out somewhere like 3. So that gives us plenty of room to grow as we get later into the game, or if you get items like this members card. Actually, I guess come to think of it, this members card is not functional anymore because we're always just starting at the max amount of items. It'll try and increase the amount of items, but then it'll be like, well, we're already at the max, so we can't. But we also have like outline for active items here. I gave it an orange outline, so you know it's like different. So yeah, here I start with the stopwatch because that's the one I like. The wind staff also pretty good. That quad jump is pretty fun. So I picked that up. And then I also added an outline for rare items. These would be items that are just like of a better quality, just stand above the other items in terms of like how good they are. So that's like the ultra shield, the ring that gives you +1 money on every money pickup. The wing that gives you +1 jump to triple jump all the time. So yeah, that concept of rare items as well. And then yeah, we got this navigates correctly with the arrow and stuff. If we come back here, it remembers what we bought. And if we go up to another shop, in theory, we should not have any duplicate items. Yeah, so see, these are all new items, right? And then the ultra shield is in here. I guess the wind staff could roll again because you might want to change active items. But that rolls here, no rare items. the point is, I think this shop setup, this item setup, is probably now in a good enough state for the pre-alpha milestone. We got our dash and our parry as well. They're a little rough around the edges, but I'm dashing and parrying around. They functionally work. I'm still not sure whether or not I'll consider polishing them up to be part of the milestone or not. But yeah, so shop in a good enough state to proceed here. So let's just go plunge into the thorns and die. Didn't make it. All right, cool. So yeah, the thing we're doing today is making that level a little bit better. There's still some aspects of it that are like kind of debug, and not representative of the final product, like the desires for the final product. So that mostly is around how the animals and the plants are spawning, which you can think of as like enemies and hazards. So we're gonna adjust those things today, and maybe some more meta stuff. I guess we'll have to see how much of a problem these things are. So yeah, let's just get right into it. First up on the list, fix old enemy spawning assumptions spawn manager. So I think I already have that prepared here in my Visual Studio. So what are we looking at here? The chickens spawn from these animal spawn boxes that are parented to the camera. This isn't what I don't think this is what I want to do long term. Because you may or may not notice it as I jump through the level. Part of the problem with that is since the camera is roughly aligned with the player, which means roughly 50% of the camera area is below the player, somewhere where you're never going to go again. So that means when it's like doing this, it does like a batch of spawning. Half of that batch is going to be below the player's like path and not going to matter at all unless they fall down. And also, you might have weird distribution things, like depending on where the player spends their time, where certain stretches of the level are really easy and certain stretches of the level like are oversaturated. So I think the play here is animals will either be, or I guess enemies/animals will either be pre-spawned in. So like as a part of spawning the level, you're going to spawn all the enemies. Just freeze them till the player is somewhat nearby, then wake them up. Oops, I hit my mic there. That's what we're gonna do for things like chickens, things like birds. They're just gonna be at a vertical spawn point that's open and hang out there until the player's nearby, then wake up and start doing whatever their movement behavior is. In terms of burrowers would be like that as well, since they don't technically have a location. They'd be like teleporting from platform to platform type deal. And then the other type of spawning would be from an object. So we got like a rat burrow, we got like a cave, we got like a beehive, those sort of things, where those things would be a part of the platform that's spawned. And then so the platform spawns the spawner, and then the spawner just goes. And it probably, just for optimization reasons, will also have it set up so that the spawner goes to sleep if the player is too far away. I think that logic might actually already exist. I vaguely remember like one of my first streams being called lazy spawning, so that's probably what that was. I don't know, we'll get into it now. Okay, so first up, cleaning up this code, like removing the legacy assumptions. All this batch stuff is going away. Actually, that reminds me, before I start making changes, let me make sure my diff is clean. This is oops, that's not that. This is your regularly scheduled evangelization of version control. This is fine. None of those changes are relevant. But we have to go over to our other repo, our submodule repo here. It looks like there are some relevant changes. Ah, yes. This was the bug I mentioned at the very beginning where buying shop items was rewarding you money. You need to apply the negative cost, not the cost. So we can fix shop item costs. And like I said, that's the type of problem you get when you're testing with $999 or $9,000 all the time and not even looking. Okay. So now our repo is pretty much clean. So we can sort of wildly delete things without getting too worried about losing them. We can always restore them with version control. Get rid of all that. I think we're just straight up starting over. I don't think this is sort of the idea is to, like I mentioned, from spawn boxes on the side, either spawning bursts with timers and batches. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're going to give it a budget at the very beginning, and then it's going to figure out all the answers and pass them back to us, and we'll spawn them or whatever. Okay, but I think we're going to need an object to spawn, right? That's the first and foremost. So let's add a game object chicken prefab. And we will just set this in code. We're going to load it dynamically. So private void awake, on awake. Oh, wait. Hold on. This should be M chicken prefab. Prefab equals utility dot load prefab. And we're going to have to go move it into the resources directory. If you want to dynamically load stuff, you have to use. Oh, it's already in there. Great. So it's enemies, chicken. That's it. I don't need this build window. Okay, so now we have the thing we might want to spawn. Does it have stuff on it? Is relevant. It has. I'm pretty sure there's like a spawnable thing. Guess not. I thought there was some like thing saying this is where this guy should spawn. I guess not. I don't think I actually care right now though. So I guess what we will have someone call us and we'll have some static function we offer that's like spawn, I guess, unanchored enemies. And what are we going to need to know to spawn those enemies? We're going to need to know why start and why end, I think. And I think we can get I think the X bounds already exist as like a constant somewhere. I guess it's not world manager, but maybe platform spawner. Yeah, I think it's this. What else do you have? No, okay. This is all we need for our X. Okay. So this is basically going to define an AABB. We need to just, I guess, how do we sort of get a if there are enough chickens, we get uniformity for free, right? Just by spawning enough of them. Because like if you spawn enough things, eventually it's going to be a close to a uniform distribution. If it's just a uniform random distribution. But there's a possibility if I'm spawning a small amount of chickens that they could have what's the word? Like unequal outcomes, disproportionate like clumps basically, where large amounts of chickens are spawning here but not there. I don't know. I think we still just start with that for simplicity's sake, get something building. Let me check 22, eh? It's probably 11:11. So we'll say x range is this times 0.45. And then we can say for and I equals 0, let's spawn 80 chickens for now, just a quick test. We will roll our y equals random.range from y start to y end, and x is from negative x range to positive x range. Okay. So there's our position. And we want to make sure we're not spawning guys in the inside platforms. Actually, let's add that later. Let's say circle cast don't spawn inside platforms, or have calling manager pass platform info to be smarter. Okay. So what is this? This is just gonna be spawning some chickens. Let's just spawn some chickens. So chicken prefab. And pos. Oh, and I guess quaternion identity to get the correct overload. Why is chicken prefab not? Oh, I see. Hey, I don't think this actually needs to be static. Getting pretty lazy with it. I'm pretty sure the manager structure will let me grab such out of a child. Okay. So what does this do? It spawns 80 chickens at random points in the map with nothing smarter than that. Let's see if it can do that. Oh, also, I guess we can now delete right and left vertical spawn box from our main camera and apply that as to the camera prefab. All right, did we get 80 chickens? I don't see any chickens. Yeah, you know why? Because nothing is calling this function. Okay, let's take a look at our manager hierarchy here. I think we want to move this to the level manager. Let's see. Let's go look at this world. Sure. Actually, let's take a look at the highest level one, and then we can go down if we want. All right. So this is the highest level thing. It's the game state manager. It gets the world and the level. It says begin game BM level. Where does so level manager here is just doing stuff on start? Yeah, okay. It's like doing stuff like spawning the platforms. Okay. Okay. I mean, just like conceptually, it should be on the level manager, right? I guess that leaves the world manager with like a weird mishmash of random responsibility. But I think that's fine. Stuff like noticing when you enter or exit a safe bubble or a rest area or a shop, like just tricky. I guess I can think of it as level manager is for setting up the specific state of this level. World manager is for um, managing changes in like a runtime game state, like advancing the death box and like telling people where the player is and reporting that the game is over, that the player is lost. So, but yeah, under that conception, we're moving our spawn manager here under the level manager. Actually, maybe we just delete the spawn. It's gonna force me to go to the prefab, do any of these game object changes. All right. How busy is the level manager already? Not this canvas. I don't care about this. I care about this. Okay. I mean, still fits on one screen. Um, if I had one, we're only talking three components potentially, and it's not even clear that animal manager will still be needed. I think we're safe to just put this on the level manager. So that would be our global spawn manager. And then we head back to the world manager and we delete this object. And we head back into game. See what happens. We're still not calling the function, so nothing will happen. Let's call the function. Go to our level manager. And here we will spawn unanchor, spawn enemies. I'll just say enemies. Okay, and we need to get our thing. So we're going to say M, well, we have to go set up private, global, spawn manager, M, global spawner, I guess. And we say M global spawner is this on awake. And then on start, we take that thing we got and we whatever spawn unanchored enemies. Okay. What is the Y start and the Y end? Is the answer in this level chunk? Kind of. Because I can. Where's the start Y? Okay. This needs to be on the class because I care about it now. So this is our public const float. K start chunk start Y, just so it's a little bit more clear. And then that should break at least some places. I guess only here. Oh, chunk, right. Okay. And you know what? Why replicate the map? Let's just make ourselves a little helper. Let's get, we'll do a public vector2 get level bounds Y. And what we're gonna, well, if I'm gonna do stuff, let me put it down here. Okay. Get level bounds Y, where this is K chunk start Y. I guess we'll say float min is the start Y minus half of the chunk size. And the max is min, or no, start Y times the number of chunks, which we don't know at this time. Maybe we can pass it in. Burn, new vector 2, oh, just minimax. Cool. All right, now over in level manager, we can do this and then say m platform spawner. It's like get something. And not public. Get level bounds y. At m level data chunks. Or I guess is it constant? Where are you num chunks? K chunks per level. Okay, what's the problem here? Oh, I see, I see. Y bounds is this, and this is y bounds x. I could have it take a vector 2 instead, but I don't know. I don't mind this. This makes it clearer in my opinion. Okay. Now we should see our 80 chickens. But we don't. We see a crash. That's okay, because we can hunt it down. We did not spawn the chicken prefab correctly, so that probably means that path is wrong. Let's double check that. We put prefabs? No, we did not. Okay. Prefabs, enemies, chicken. All right, let's try again. Built. All right, there's our chickens. They basically had a uniform distribution. But they just instantly ran across the screen and died. But we knew this would happen. That's how they're set up for now. So we'll call this done. We have cleaned out the old spawn manager to just spawn 80 chickens instead. But next up, we need to change the chickens' movement and also prevent spawning in platform. So the idea here is we first they're going to change the chickens from running across the screen, which made sense when they were like constantly spawning from the edges. Now instead of that, they will just do a slight wander. And we just want to make sure they're not ideally not wandering inside where a platform would be, or if like they are and there's a moment where they can do something before the grow happens, force them to move out of it, something like that. But the first step of that would be fixing the chickens movement. So that means we take this some movement component Q MVC specific direction. MVC stands for movement controller. Specific direction has them going in that line. We're going to change that with Q MVC wander. Normal update is fine. We probably want a timer here to control how fast how erratic their wander is. But a float timer that has a default of 3 seconds plus or minus 3/4 of a second. We can tell this sits at timer 0. Okay, so now our chicken should wander instead of running across the screen. Kind of. I think a couple things. I think this AAVB needs to be a bit smaller. This will prevent them from wandering off the screen, but not if it's too large. Oh, they're still right off. Make it really small, and then that'll give me an idea of whether or not it is... Oh, it destroys itself when it's clamped, so that won't help. Let's get rid of this. And then let's make the clamp even a little bit smaller. Where's the clamp? It's up top. There it is, yeah, I'd say 12. I think I just looked at the chunk size right, and it's 22. So yeah, that is why. Why are they still dying? Oh, some of them are hitting death bubbles, perhaps? Yeah. Okay. So we need a couple things. First of all, make them a lot slower. And should make them, basically they will be able to cover more distance the longer the timer is, right? Because if the timer is really short, they'll basically always stay in place because like they'll be constantly rolling a new direction, and like law of large numbers, randomness, the directions will roughly equal out each other and they will roughly stay in the same place. So let's try reducing that a bit, get them a bit more centered. It's fine so far. We need them to be changing facing. We also should be re-rolling direction on clamp. I believe there's a component that'll do that for me. Or we can make it, it's not that hard. The clamper just sounded like a standard event. And actually flying enemies, I don't really even care if they're overlapping a thing. Maybe I don't need that at all. Okay, yeah, so let's fix some of their weirdness. And that would be, we need to add a Q face, update face, flip on facing change. We also need a, isn't there like a QMVC I think this should work. Doesn't seem like I do this on clamp, so let's add that. We will add a serialized field private bool and bounce on clamp, and we'll say default false so that other things don't inherit this behavior that might not want to. Oh, this already happens. Oh, okay, I don't need this. It already does it. It just does it always by default, which is fine by me. Okay, so it should now not crawl along the wall like that, and but it looks like their facing is wrong, backwards. And I wonder why they are all sort of attracted to the, seems like they're more attracted to the right side of the screen. Maybe that's just, it's just like a placebo thing that I'm incorrectly noticing, like looking for patterns where there are none. Anyway, let's fix that facing and see what the deal with that crash is. So facing first. Just need to toggle that setting, I think. Yeah. And I also, sir, still doesn't seem right. we not have a facing maybe? Oh, we do. Oh, you know what? I think we have to put on only use X here. Because basically what's probably happening is sometimes if their movement is more vertical than horizontal, they'll be counted as moving up or down rather than left or right. In which case, they will, what's the word? They will, not update their facing. Not update their flip. Yeah, but now they're, well, no, that guy's still moving backwards. Maybe he was just a fluke. See, it seems like that guy is not bouncing. I think there might be a couple of weird things here. I wonder if, I think what might be happening is they're rolling like these tiny, vectors. Oh, whoops. Get rid of this. What's wrong with this? Oh, there's no, I got rid of the plant manager in the world. All right, we need to re-add that. We need at least one plant manager and animal manager in the world because it is just, that's just like the data store of the data of like what makes a plant. So it's saying like, hey, time to spawn a plant. And then, see, why are you moving backwards? Look at that. Is it possible? I don't know. I have to debug this probably. Chicken, what's going on with you? Are only using X now. You know what? Let's I think the play here is we find some chicken that's moving in a stupid way. Like that one right there. You there. Why are you facing backwards? This will tell us at what level the problem is at. Where I can grab this chicken and just turn on debug inspector, take a look at like its facing and stuff. Okay, it knows it's moving backwards, right? It's got a -1 here for its X. It's facing, still thinks it's right though. Why is that? I'm missing something. Oh, I probably need to get rid of this wander. I have two different movement scripts competing with each other. Technically, I didn't make that like a bug because like an assert. Because technically you might have like another level of code sitting on top that's like disabling, enabling and disabling certain movement behaviors based on certain conditions. So yeah, it's not an invalid thing to do, but it is invalid in this case. All right, let's try again. That looks right to me now. But they aren't wandering anymore. I think I need to re-add the timer or something. Alright, let's get rid of debug. We probably don't need it anymore. Yeah. We put this to 0. We add in a timer. Let's say 1.5.25. See what that looks like. Um, looks fine, though it does really seem to be the case that we keep getting guys on the far right side there. Yeah, I don't see any dudes facing the wrong way. And this, like, I think this is roughly, maybe not this number of chickens, I probably have to think about that, but this is roughly the level of obstacle I was thinking for, like, the first level. The money won't be this generous. See, I'm kind of blocked there, but I can go around. They're not really chasing me down, and we're also missing the burrowers and the rats still. But for the chickens, yeah, this seems like pretty fine to me. It's just a little bit messy. So we'll say like constant. Okay, num chickens. Buff it to 120. Oh, right. Let's see. I forgot to. That's why they all spawn. We didn't do negative. And you know what? While we're here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply. We'll add a private helper function here. Private void. Apply AABB. Var go. I guess I can't do var. I do game object go. Float. Y start. Float x start. Float x end. Float y start y end. We say var ob. Let's get component go. Get component q clamp CLABB. We say AABB dot something. Oh, set bounds, perfect. New bounds, I guess. Center and size. Okay. Float x center is xn minus x start. Should be 0, but we can just leave the math. Same for y center, so therefore vector 2 center is that, and bounds is equal to it's just half of x center, right? It's just half of these. Yeah, that makes sense. So bounds center. Oh, it's dimension. Wait, hold on. This is the dimension. Xdim, Ydim. Then Xdim times 0.5, Ydim times 0.5. And our dimension, or I guess just size equals 2 vector 2 Xdim Ydim. So we'll grab our chicken, and then we set their AABB. What is it called? YABB to that range we just established. Negative. Okay. Okay. What are we even testing? All right, I guess there's a more, what's it called? Evenly distributed spawn. Seems like someone just went off the edge there. Did he? Yeah, we got boys going off the edge. The AABB needs to be smaller. But overall, almost there with our chickens. And you know, down the line they probably will be getting, like all the enemies would probably get a polished bass, but we are just trying to get functional. We're basically trying to get a vertical slice, and it is, I've created the fattest vertical slice ever. Oh, that's the weird ledge grab bug. I made a note of that. Okay. This range is wrong. Let's do like 3-5 even. That might be a little bit too... Well, no, he's going pretty much all the way to the edge. I'm going too fast. I sometimes fall between these one-way platforms. I think I just have to increase the activation collider. Because it makes sense, right? If you fall fast enough that in one frame, you never actually collided with the box, then it never activates the platform and doesn't catch you. You know what I mean? I can draw a picture. And hopefully with a fast computer, this will go right up. Yeah. If you're my boy here, falling down, and we're trying to hit this collider to activate this platform. If this is the frame right before, and then this is our, like, the size of our player, and then we fall equal to that size, right? In the next frame, our player is here. And they never hit our collider boy to activate this. So yeah, that's just a problem of tweaking colliders. Sure. Is that enough for that? Change chicken movement prevents falling in platforms. I think so. Okay. Next up, we're gonna work on these slow plants. So this is just sort of what's the word? An artifact of Actually, oh, let me double check something. I feel like my boys are still kind of drifting to the right rather than the left. Just want to say, okay, yeah, I paused the game with the player like right at the middle, and they are at 0.11, so it's not offset weirdly. It could just be bad luck. Oh, you know what it could also be? Are we rolling a random direction on start? Yes. Oh, but we're not at this timer. That's actually what we want. Okay, that's fine. I don't think it's a problem. Alright, but what was I getting at? I was getting at... Are you guys ever going left? I want to find some left guys when I go up here. See, look, all on the right side, on the right side. I guess this guy looks like he is bouncing. You know what, I think their AABB might be wrong. Hey, you there, Mr. Chicken. I have the wrong tool. Here. What does your AABB say? 7? Is that enough? Oh, the center is 7. Wait, that can't be the right center. Can't it be? I say This is negative. I feel so dumb that I can't do like basic math here. Why is this wrong? Xn minus x start. So let's say that is negative 5 minus negative 5 gives you n. Oh yeah. It's the Oh, I need to do plus, not. Okay. Man, I'm just like forgetting very dumb math. So this is xn plus x start. Yeah, that makes sense because then the 5 and the negative 5 cancel out. Y center here. X center here. All right, I think that'll fix it. I knew there was something wrong there. There we go. Now they're on both sides. So, I forget again what we're testing. Oh, right, plants. I just wanted to get an example of plants. And maybe I won't. Maybe they're broken right now. We'll just fix them. I don't see any plants. Ow, I just got double hit. Oh, there's some plants. Okay, yeah, these little... Oh, man. Alright, oh, I'm still getting hit. These little plants slow you down a little bit. Right now they're going in and out of the platform. I think that's like kind of just an artifact of the original Game Jam game, where in the original Game Jam game, you were just trying to stay on a platform for as long as possible. So it made sense to like things coming up and back up out of and back down into that platform because you're only really staying on one platform. But in this game, where in this like evolution of the idea, where you are like you're only really on a platform for a second or two, you're constantly on new platforms. That doesn't really make sense. So what we're going to change it to instead is it's just going to go up once and stay up. So let me take a look here. So here's where we're setting up that flower. We have an example of it being spawned. I guess it's under plant spawn box. So, okay, just spawning in the prefab as an array. Okay. So somewhere spawn is getting called on update. We just want to, okay, yes. We turn off use timer. We might not even need a code change here. You can just turn off use timer. Oh, I think I'm back. I had OBS disconnect and reconnect. Now it's just giving a black. Yeah, I think I gotta stop. Oh, wait. Did my auto scene switcher die? Yeah. Alright, I think we're good. Not sure what happened there. I might need to just like reset my internet. I did lose power last night. So maybe my internet's not happy with being in a weird state from having lost power. It'll come back and be better if I just reset it. I don't know. I'm not going to dwell on it now. What was I doing before OBS cut out? I don't know. I never actually lost internet there. Whatever. Okay, so yeah, I was saying we just turn off use timer here. Turn off use timer. We only call like this public spawn function from the level manager or from the platform maybe. Yeah, the platform activator, that probably makes sense. So yeah. Let's take a look at doing that. Oh, and I guess the next step would be make the plant. Let me take a look on the plant and see if I can make it not go in and out. Yeah, plank row here. So yeah, so it's got an up and a down, but what if we say just add another bool here? Serialized field, private bool, up only, false. Then here, where stay up, else if it would be down and up only, return. Okay. And then we go to our plant. We set that up only. Okay, and then we're gonna have to go through our platforms because they have a lot of these plant spawn boxes. I think plant spawn boxes are still the way to go. Is that allows you to say like, okay, here, instead of like crawling the edges of the tile map, you can just say like, all right, here is the area you can spawn from. And that also adds a tiny bit of randomness. But we want to turn off use timer here. So like it's no longer in charge of its own spawning. We're going to take care of spawning it from the manager. I'm going to re-hide this. So that's 2-0, 2-1. Same deal. Get rid of their timers. 2. Our default. Oh, this is 2-1 still. So yeah, just going through all these platforms that can spawn plants and telling them stop spawning them yourselves. Stop looking at this timer. I'm going to tell you when to spawn. Okay, and this last one is okay. Those are animals, which we'll deal with in a second. Okay, so now if we jump through, you should expect to see no plants. Because none of them are allowed to spawn on their own, and no one is telling them to spawn yet. Oh no, I missed. And usually my jumping has been much improved by the ability to dash, but I still miss it sometimes. Ooh, that was a double bad. We had a dash that was too fast, which meant the bad guy was, the chicken was still able to deal damage to me. And then we into a incorrect ledge grab that stuck me up on the platform. But I didn't see any plants, so I don't remember seeing them, and I haven't seen them so far. So I think that change did what we expected it to. I should not try to go up through there. It's a tight squeeze. Yeah, I don't see any plants. I think we're good. But when we make it to the top, that's when we'll know for sure. Because it's set up. Yeah, okay, we're at the top. Great. What now? Now we re-add it, right? So we go to our, I guess, platform activator. So the platform we pre-spawn all the platforms, but then the platform activator's job is when the player is getting close to them, tell them to start growing and pass along the relevant information to the grow shader. So here, show next row. After we show grow material data, we want to say mcache platforms i.obj. We should really, the whole point of this caching is, speed. So we should also be caching our Am I comfortable going to another? I think I am. I think it's worth it to not potentially be fetching these arrays at oh wait, we already have this struct. It's this. So we just have to add to it. We have object, we have spline manager, and we also have an array of, let's say, plant spawn box. Call it PSBs. While we're here, why not just animal spawn box as well? And then here, we don't have to change the constructor, the parameters and stuff. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do those same like get component in children's, but just do it now. So that like this will happen in like basically load time rather than game time. Okay. So now we have access to platform.psbs. Okay. So here, and when we have the cache platform, we want to say spsbs. I guess we want for each var PSB in this. Let's put, or I guess for each you don't need that. And we say PSB spawn. Maybe we want to add in a delay because this will be the very first second that like it starts growing, which isn't really correct. But let's just see if that happens like we expect it to. So we need to climb decently high up in the vine here to start getting platforms that can have plants. Oh, I'm almost beating the spark there. Alright, yeah, there's our plant. And it just stays up. Except for the tree, which we didn't set to do that. But did it spawn too quick? Kind of. We can see there, if you're looking far up, like if you're watching that specifically, sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's just a tiny bit too fast. So we just want to be able to add a slight delay there, because in the very first second you can sometimes see the plant or the platform is caught up. So add float delay equals 0, and then it's a problem. All right, let's go to spawn box base, and we'll say public virtual void spawn delayed float delay, and then we just call spawn, or we invoke spawn. Okay, and then over in our platform activator, we say const float k plant spawn delay. I think just like quarter of a second will be enough here, because it was almost good enough. And we call spawn delayed instead. All right, let's run through again. Ooh, that's a little abrupt there. We got a bunch of chickens right in the beginning. Let me add a to-do note. Hold on, we'll stop this playing. Random. What's the word? Random position. Spawning not awesome for chicken locations. Want to wait later on, and in general ensure a fairly uniform distribution. Ooh, blasted. Not looking, not paying attention. Also want to make dashing through chickens give coins. Feel like it's like a bonus thing you can do. And I probably am gonna make this coin trail like so much less. You can get like, I mean, the best upgrades right now cost 30, and you can get, like, I'm not even trying to get most of them. I don't have any upgrades that let me get more money, and I get 273. I was not properly watching for the spawn locations of the plants. But the fact that I didn't notice anything weird out of the corner of my eye, considering that's the nature of the problem here, is a good sign. Oh man, what is going on with that? I hate this ledge grab so much. It's necessary, but like it has been the single most problematic feature by far. Anyway, we're gonna run through one more time really quick and pay close attention to the things spawning, make sure they look fine. And I guess it would be better if we rise quickly, because that gives it less time to work with. I should see if I can get something in the shop that helps me rise even more quickly. Probably not with 19. Oh yeah, wind staff, we're good. Okay. No plants so far. Okay, there's a plant, but good timing there. Good timing there. Yeah, I think we're good here. Okay. Shh. Place thin trees with wide stump. Okay. So the idea here is these like higher level plants. So we have the slowing bush, not that big a deal. But we also have these thin trees. I feel like the thin trees are just a bit too obtrusive for the first level. I don't really want this to be that hard. I want this to be just like familiarizing yourself with the stuff. But see, like I can get like, like, you know, this slowed me down. If I were not like just killing it through the combo, that might slow me down. It gets in my way. It might block my path. This is the type of thing I think will be introduced in the next level instead. Oh, hello, better get shark. So yeah, but these thin trees for the first level, we're gonna replace them with wide stumps. So let me open up paint really quick. I don't know if I'm gonna get a good. I'll probably fix this offline. I don't know if I have a sprite for it, but just to move quickly here, we're gonna make one. I mean, I guess the moving quickliest of all is just using a square, and that's what I should do. We're gonna go to resources, prefabs, plants. I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this narrow tree, rename it stump. We're gonna open it up in prefab view. We want to make it much smaller and fatter. And it'll look dumb, but that's fine. Yeah, very stupid looking, but that's okay. And then we're going to put it on up only. And then we need to go through our platforms and find the ones that are spawning narrow trees and replace those narrow trees with this new stump. So we'll go through. There's a plant spawn box. Oh, flowers. It's a pretty well. Okay, this is a tree. We changed it. Oh, I have to add a new enum. That's not. I guess that makes sense. I have to like set the data, but let's see how annoying that is. If this is annoying, we might be looking at fixing this. Doesn't look that annoying, but we'll see. We'll need to add a new thing here. Not so bad. And then seems like we might be able to do this double, thing with a macro instead of just saying tree twice. But it's fine for now. And well, at the very least, these can be replaced with utility.load prefab. I'm pretty sure I stole the utility.load prefab code from here. Flower, I think. I guess not. Oh, I need one more. Oh, how can I make this better? Okay. It wants me to do this. And this, I think. That is simpler. A little though. But I guess maybe it'll be very, very slightly faster to load like, we're putting this data in the data structure as it's made rather than making the data structure, then putting in the data. But it's probably trivial. I think that's the style we're going for. Tree, K, tree, spawn Y. It's just a tree. And then add one more here for our new stump. I don't know what the spawn Y is supposed to be. I guess I should look at the tree spawn Y. And then it should be like if our thing is 0.2 high, it's the flower here. It's 0.2 of 64. So that is 64 divided by 5, or like 12 and a 8, 12.8. So it should be something like 1.5, 1.25. It should be a little bit less than a third of this. That'd be like 0.6. Let's try 0.75. A stump spawn Y. Okay, we can get rid of all this. Okay. So what's up next? Oh, right. We were going through the platforms and assigning the stump to where the tree used to be. So stump. That wasn't that annoying in terms of adding a new plant. I've only been streaming for 21 minutes since I got interrupted by that OBS DC. So um the goals today are the content for the first level. So that is, I'm like fixing up the enemies, fixing up the plants, re-adding in the rats as enemies, adding a new enemy maybe. So yeah, it is. I know I've been overly optimistic about pre-alpha milestone, but it is all coming together here. Once I get this content good, which like after this stream, like I am gonna be stitching it together to be an actual game for reals. You'll be able to go through the level, go to the next level, you'll fight a boss. It'll be the whole, like a vertical slice of the whole experience. Very close. Um, we're almost there. And yeah, so I'm like cleaning up this level so you can like actually play in it basically. Because we are close, I swear. It's what's the Blizzard thing? It's like soon TM. Can co-op that. So what was I doing? I was right. I switched over from trees to stumps to be like a better fit for the first level of difficulty. Oh hey Tice. Yeah, welcome to you as well. I swear I'm so close to my first milestone, I swear. Got a pretty good shop, I think, like good enough to go with. Probably not a polished final version, but like fully functional. And we got sweet triple jump in here, so we're gonna pick that up. We get wind staff with triple jump for 6 times jump. Oh no, I fell. I feel like that should have been a ledge grab. No wind staff in here. Fire staff. It's called bomb still. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. I know it seems like I've just been like working away into a hole, but I have been consistently doing stuff. And I'm setting up like the enemies and plants and stuff now to like actually have a real level, which by the way, I saw no stumps, so I'm pretty sure the change we're actually trying to test here is broken. And yeah, the answer to that is all these crashes. Okay, so what happened here? We tried to go get our stump, probably. It's saying a crash on line 16. That's almost certainly pd.prefab, and like, I guess it could be anything, but it's almost certainly that new prefab we just added. So it's prefabs, plants, stumps. Is that a good path? Let's double check. Prefabs, plants. It is called stump. Is it null though? Let's go here. Let's debug here and see if it is being loaded successfully or if there's a problem somewhere else. Yeah, that's the best part of new computer is just clicking enable debugging for session without any care in the world. I mean, before it was a hard choice, like, oh, am I gonna slow this down even more? All right, did you load the junk? No, you did not. Why is that? Did the other prefabs get loaded? Am I spelling stump wrong? Let me check the other prefabs. Maybe I broke it somehow. I did. I have a feeling this doesn't work like I think it does. Ah, it's prefabs. That's what it is. We're good. Okay. So yeah, we broke our plant spawning by switching to our helper, because in switching to the helper, we broke the path by making it from prefab to prefabs. Now it's fixed. I should start with wind staff instead of stopwatch. I want that quad jump. Got one? Nah. I also have to fix parry, I think. I guess, I don't know if parry is good because I'm so bad at parrying in all the other games that I don't know if I'm just bad at the timing or the timing is too unforgiving. I probably can't parry with the shield up, it would kill them before. What am I testing? Oh yeah, plants. Okay. It doesn't look like it's spawning stumps. It looks like it's still spawning trees. It's possible I missed these platforms, but I'm not seeing any stumps. You think so? Yeah, I want it to be bad. I want it to be like a punishing type thing. You know what I mean? Ooh, this is our stump. So it's in the game, but it spawned in kind of wrong. It should be smaller than this. It must be getting its scale affected by something else. Let's pause the game. Yeah, so I'd be interested in your thought. Well, I don't know, but like if it does feel bad, that still feels bad. I don't want to create moments of bad feeling gameplay, but I feel like you should just make the jump. The ledge grab is a consolation prize if you didn't make the jump because you were being reckless or you got hit or something, some junk like that. But at the same time, I don't want to feel it. I don't want it to feel super bad. And in its current state, it probably does feel super bad. This is why it's important to get to a milestone so we can like get some people's opinions on this rather than just trying to guess how people might feel one day eventually. Okay, so we got our stump. And it has a scale of 2 for some reason. Oh, okay. That's because this plant grow script, I think, is doing the scale. Yeah, we're just make it, I don't know if I would want to go all that far out. Maybe just make it like slightly, maybe just time it, you know? I would just have to time with like a string of platforms, like jump it correctly and then ledge grab it and then make the ledge grab just be like 80% or something, 75% or something. I just want to make sure that it is never efficient over landing the jumps. But I don't necessarily want you to feel bad when it happens. Okay, and this, I forget what I was doing with, oh, right. Yeah, so this delta stuff is going to cause it to have a weird scale, I believe. So let's review that script, and this target delta y, I think, is being used to set a scale. Yes. So maybe like if we're only going 0.2, and that's the whole thing. Let me go just like 0.25, I think, and the up duration should be way decreased for that. Stay duration is meaningless because we're doing up only. All right, let's try again. We had some narrow trees though still. Before we go back in, let's go to our platform prefabs and make sure these trees are swapped out for stumps everywhere. Flower is fine. This is flower and stump. Okay. Tree, no. Tree switch to stump. Flower is fine. Tree switch to stump. Flower is fine. Flower. Tree. Okay, and the threes won't actually spawn. Yeah, something. I don't know. I'm almost tempted just to cut it. With the jump being a lot better now with the, oh, I say that right as I get on the edge. With the jump force control is a lot more consistent. Let me see if I can like consistently jump around this chicken. Well, not that one. I meant this one. He's not really being very cooperative. But yeah, I feel like I did do tweaks to give you more control over where you land and stuff. I don't even know if you need it still. Hitting that corner will always feel bad, but like If I could cut it, I wouldn't even mind because oh my god, it is the most bug-prone feature by far, by far, by far. Look, that was incorrect because it's the most bug-prone feature by far. I cannot tell you like the ratio of fixing freaking ledge grab bugs to the initial ledge grab implementation is like 10 to 1. This is fine enough for the stump. It should probably be a little bit wider, but like this is conceptually what I wanted. Just like it's not really getting in your. Ooh, why did you die? Why are you dying? Why are these plants dying? Hold on, let me pause real quick before it fully game overs. Let me get rid of this canvas. What does 0 alpha mean to you, Unity? Oh, it's probably being reset to 1 by something. But are these plants being deleted? What was going on with that? It seemed like the flower was getting deleted. Do you have like a timed life or something? Yeah, you do. You last for 11 seconds and that's it for some reason. What? The plant grow needs timed life? Why? What are you doing with this? Oh. Okay. You don't need this. And this doesn't matter if we're doing up only. Okay. Let's fix that. Get rid of this. And then on our stump, get rid of it as well. Although, how did it get there? It should have. Oh, well, because you don't need to call begin destruction if it has a timer. It just has a timer. All right, and we'll make this a little bit fatter. I'll replace this with a proper stump in the future, but I don't want to be like drawing paint. It's an offline thing. Oh, you bitch chicken. I feel like should also do some grayscale stuff with this time stop. Time stop needs an effect to feel more impactful. Oh, I don't have enough money for that boy. Oh, and I bought something else by accident. Let me see if I can. I haven't tested that partner in crime in a bit. I don't think I've tested him since the shop rework. Does he still work? Oh, now I need money to buy something for him to steal it at the discount. Hey, yeah, he got me back too. He's walking backwards. He's moonwalking, but that's fine. I don't know if that's something. I mean, that is something I need to fix eventually, but it's not something I need to fix anytime soon. What was I testing? Oh yeah, the new stump. Ooh, the stump needs a little bit more of delay considering how fat it is. It really makes it. I should remake it a tiny bit smaller and slightly increase the plant delay, but I don't want to get into the death spiral of chasing like ultimately temporary stuff and like infinitely tweaking so that temporary thing looks good just to do myself to another round of temporary tweaking when I actually replace the temporary thing with the real final. All right, so we're gonna go to Global Swan Manager, or I guess Platform Activator. So what's turning on the plants, and just slightly increase this to 0.3 instead of 0.25 should be enough. Okay, and with that, I think we can call this task here of replacing thin trees with wide stump done. Okay, the next step would be to re-enable our animal spawn boxes, and by adding rat spawning. I do actually have a burrow for this, I'm pretty sure, in my new my new assets. Guess do I have those somewhere? I don't know if I do. I have them in my email. That might be the only place they exist. Maybe sprites. Maybe not sprites, tiles, tile atlases, tiles final. Yeah. Yeah, so we got a rat burrow up here, but I don't want to have to actually like cut that out right now. We're just gonna use a square to get the functionality in, and we're gonna do the kind of policy type stuff off stream. So these platforms already have animal spawn boxes, I believe, some of them. Maybe not. I guess they don't anymore. Okay, it's fine. So we would create a new empty that's animal, say ASB1, or I guess ASBs, and then we create, we'll just copy this because it's already got the box and the sprite and stuff. Call it ASB0. Show me the sprite, show me the platform. Sure, we'll scooch this over a tiny bit. And then we remove this plant spawn box, replace it with an animal spawn box. This, we still do want it to use a timer. Because things will be spawning out of this burrow like consistently over time. Frequency, I don't know if this is a good for whatever. I'll say 2. Random spawn direction seems fine, and then spawned animals we will add in our rat. Looks like we already have this set up. I think for weights we just need to put in 1 and 1, 100% chance to spawn a rat. It might work if I didn't do that, but I don't know, why risk it? Okay. And then is there like an offset or something? Not really. That's fine. We're gonna copy this. Well, first we're gonna hide that, and then we're gonna copy it, and we're gonna add it to a few other things. This one's fine. Plenty of space. I guess I copied the wrong thing. Hiding back, copy ASB. These. Just make it centered. I'm not really. I probably will do another pass later on of like more fine-tuning these platforms. Really, I just want a decent variety in this initial batch, just to make sure like I'm, stress testing the systems enough. If you only are spawning one kind of platform, you never know if you're gonna run into problems when you try and spawn the new time, Okay. Pop, pop. Is that right? Yeah, pretty much. Okay, and then let's re-hide that. Sprites. That should be good. The one thing we do need to add though is since here, I guess I can show it. Since all those animals all the platforms are being pre-spawned, I'm pretty sure we will get rats spawning in immediately from like the ceiling. Like, if cool if we don't, then we don't have to do anything. Let's see if that's the case. Maybe not. Maybe it is disabling properly in like the tree. Chickens. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, rats. I don't see any rats. Oh, there. I think the lazy distance code I set up is just good enough. It seems like it's working. Still a little bit slow on those stumps, but like I said, I'm not going to get into the trap of chasing stumps everywhere. Or chasing temporary stuff. Yeah, I mean, I guess the one thing I want to do change, if the plan is to have like a visual burrow, let's actually turn on these sprites and make, I don't know, like make them brown. Be like, or I don't know, green brown. Be like a rat burrow. And then they also are going to need to be above ground. So yeah, just let's clean up a couple of let's do that for a couple of these platforms, and then Just see if it looks fine actually spawning in, testing a level. Assuming it does, we can call this done as well. I think we're pretty close to the end of the list. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's plow forward. All right. 3 for ASB. I guess it's gonna look wrong in the grow shader, but like getting that integrated with the grow shader is not a right now thing, so it's fine for now. Sure, why not? Just pick random colors, it's fine. There's one more? Oh, there's actually not that many. Oh yeah, there is one more. Just move this up to 1.75. So that's the X. 1.75. Is that the right spot? Yeah, and let's give it some random color. Fine. I think the animal spawn box might be giving like a small small Y offset to like under the assumption that you need to break out of the platform. So it's possible now that we have moved the spawn box out of the platform that they'll like be spawning in the air. I wish I remember what they looked like. Oh, I guess they have sprites now. I'll know them right away. Oh yeah, there's one. Cool. That seems fine. And the lazy logic seems fine as well. It seems like it's working as intended, where even though these boxes already exist up high in the world, because the player isn't close by enough, they don't activate. Okay, but that's good enough for now. I'm gonna add a note. We do still need to. Something needs to be done about rapidly falling rats. More strict activation distance, or maybe, or I don't know, die if fall too fast, or velocity cap. Something. Can't have death falling from the sky. Falling from off screen. It should be even rapider? You mean in terms of spawning? Like spawning more rats? My concern is, if say I fall down and I activated a rat spawn thing and they're just like jumping off, there's no way for me to know there's like a rat missile coming down at me. It just feels bad to get hit by a rat missile because the thing has hit terminal velocity because it fell from like 30 feet above or whatever. We do have the rat boss for that. I wonder if those still work fine. I haven't tested those boss levels in a while. You still work just fine? I feel like with dash and stuff, I should be able to beat these levels easy now. Oh yeah, awesome. They still work. Work-ish. Oh, no, that boy does not work. Whatever. Oh, I remember what the problem is. Yeah, all these guys are jumping like crazy because I switched the jump logic from force to impulse. So they're assuming they're applying a force. So the numbers are like huge to account for it being like one frame of force, and I changed it to impulse. So yeah, he tried to jump. He tried to do his little jump onto the what's it called? Onto the next platform, and instead he like jumped into space, never to return. But I feel like dash should make this B boss a lot easier. Maybe it just introduces a way for me to have hubris. Oh, yep, I jumped right through her. I got her. Alright, but I don't want to get too distracted. Alright. Point is, at least those levels still compile. Alright, back to main though. We have a bunch of rats now. Could add more for sure, but we also need to add in some kind of like a meta constraint so we're not being hit by rat missiles. Alright. So depending on how hard it is, this might be the last thing we go for today. We're gonna add a Burrower enemy. So the idea here is, say we have like some platforms, right? This represents our platforms. He will exist like sort of invisible in a zone of space, right? And then on player activation, he will like go into one of the platforms, come up, and like spit stuff out or whatever, and then go back down, and then go to somewhere else in his like his zone, as long as the player is still like within whatever active distance. So that would be spawn, since it's being like assigned to a zone rather than a specific platform, it probably would be associated with, well, thinking about it, maybe it should be associated with a chunk, which is like a set of 4 platforms. That might be a good match. Let me take a look at what these structs look like. Oh no, it's just a row of platforms. But maybe that's okay as well. I guess the problem I have here is, if it's completely unanchored, it's hard to know where, like, it's hard to know information about the platforms nearby to burrow up out of them, right? So I think maybe we should assign it to the row instead here. And if so desired, we could extend this system to 4, like a 2x2 of platforms, and that would give it a greater area. But yeah, but just for the proof of concept, I think living on this level chunk is a good place for our burrower boy. Let's just make the prefab really quick. We're gonna go to assets, resources, prefabs, enemies. I guess I'll base it on the chicken, but it's pretty different. Burrower. I'm pretty sure we already have the sprite for the burrower in, because there's a burrower boss. Yeah, it's grayscale though. It's fine. So I think there's also an animator as well, just for the basic idle animation. So you just switch it from chicken to burrower. Burrow boss. What are the difference between these? Oh, decoy. Let's see burrow boss and see if that's fine. Get rid of any junky position weirdness. Upper burrower. I don't think he would actually have a knockback trigger. He's just going to shoot projectiles. You can run into him. Well, let's get rid of that. Let's move his collider down a little bit. That looks good. Let's set his color to be like not grayscale, like this. Maybe like orange. Like that. Okay. Then we need to get rid of any stuff on this we don't need. So these bounce things we don't need. All this stuff that has to do with the chicken's bounce wander movement we get rid of. Facing we want, it can face left and right. It can be time stopped. Stop movement on destruction, sure. Play animation on destruction, sure. I don't think these movements are going to be relevant because we're going to be teleporting him around. It's not really going through the movement interface per se. Play animation on destruction. That's fine. And these are just particles. They're fine as well. This is fine. You don't need both of these. You only need one of these. This we don't need. Okay. I think we have our object here. It's just a sprite and a collider that the player can squish. And And we don't have it shooting yet, but we will add a projectile attack to this guy. But we're not going to care about that yet. Right now we're going to do his movement. So we're going to go into assets, scripts, I guess content, animal, not really movement. We'll say Burrower. Okay. So Burrower has 3. It can be enum burrow state. Wait. Hold on. I don't want to duplicate my work here. I feel like the boss already has some of this stuff. Let's see what we can reuse off the Burrower boss. What coding have we already done? That might be useful. The answer might be nothing, but let's at least check. Okay, it looks like the answer is yeah, not that much. This is being controlled by a higher level like boss manager that is going to be difficult to translate. So that's fine. We can start over. So we have burrowed, or I can say down, going up, up. You know what this actually is? This is that same plant logic, plant grow. I guess I don't know. I feel like I'd be fitting square peg in a round hole trying to make that work. It's something to consider. That's like a noteworthy thing. Burrow behavior is pretty similar to plant grow. They don't work together now, but maybe with a look can figure out some common interfaces and opportunities for code sharing. Okay. So initially, I guess what do we need to control our burrower? We're gonna need its sprite and its and its transform. Anything else? I guess collider. So we need a private sprite renderer, sprite, or I'll say MSR, and private collider 2D collider. Okay, and then we get those on awake. See, look at that. Visual Studio just knows. All I had to do was hit tab. If I say M, all I have to do is say M dash, and it knows I want to get the collider too. I'm telling you, update to Visual Studio 2022. It's good. It's so good. I'm so impressed all the time. So we get our sprite renderer and our collider. And then on start, we're gonna disable those things. See, it thought I wanted to enable it, but it still knows I want to toggle enablement here. So what else? I guess, how is this lazy stuff working? Within spawn distance. What does that mean? Perfect, perfect. Yes, this is exactly what we want. So, go back to our burrower, and we're gonna say, I guess we'll have a private bool for like his initial sleep. Not, or initially activated is false. And then if not initially activated, I want to check if animal manager dot within spawn distance. I guess just my pos y, because we'll point him in like the y position of his row. Transform dot position dot y. If I'm within the spawn distance, then I flip that bool over. It's true. And we need to have a burrow state as well. State. is initially going to be down. So then here else, if we are activated, we want to basically have a timer. So let's make some timers. Private float k up duration. I will say half a second. Private float k stay duration. We'll stay up there for a second. And then private float k down duration. Slightly faster than the up. And then a timer to tick all these things. So we'll make it initially 0 and we'll tick it down, which means say Burrow timer minus equals time.delta time. And if Burrow timer is less than 0, we'll check our state. So if M state is down, we will start going up. Else if my state is going up, we will stay up or get ready to go down. And then else if my state is the whatever the third one is. Oh wait. Yeah. So this is finish going up. Or yeah. And this is stay up, prepare to go down. Or this is go back down. Okay. In any case here, we want to, okay, so that in all cases, it's just Burrow timer equal to the new thing. So if we're down, this is the up duration. And then my state is going up. We're staying up. We want the same thing, but we want our stay duration. And our state becomes up. And then this third one is okay, down duration. My state is down. I guess I need it going down too. And then I guess yeah, I guess I technically should have a K teleport a down, I guess stay down duration. We'll call this stay up duration. So stay up duration here. Down duration here. That should not be a capital K. It's going down. Then finally, if we are going down and we going down, should be this. That almost made it through. If we're going down, stay down before going back up. Stay up before going back down. And we would shoot soon. Teleport soon. Okay. We have two transition states. So we have we transition from down to up. When we're up, we spit some stuff out at the player. And we go from up to down. And when we're down, we teleport to a new place. But I think we're going to have to pass. Let's just finish the timer thing really quick. Um, stay down duration, state equals burrow state dot. Okay, so this is just like a sort of a state machine based on timer. Uh, maybe, yeah. I was thinking about trying to up it to 2 days a week at one point, but it's definitely difficult. Just because I feel like I can go a little bit quicker, uh, without narrating all my stuff. But when I'm further along and it's like there's less like building stuff from scratch and it's more just piling on content, and also the game will look a lot nicer when I'm further along, so I'll care more about like generating more video content for it promotionally. Um, Definitely a possibility. So yeah, I guess it's a wishy-washy answer, but TLDR, no promises, but there's a decent chance I'll up it to 2 days further on when in the development when I'm closer to being done. Because I do still have to work a day job and have like some pretty like dedicated coding sessions and stuff to get it done. Okay, so we got these 4 states of burrow timer. Um, it's not doing the teleporting or being in a chunk or anything, but I don't really care. I just want to spawn a bunch in and see if they go up and down. Um, so here, not animal spawn box, I'm sorry, in global spawn manager, where we were spawning our chickens, let's also spawn some burrowers. Say like 40. Is there any way we can do this, and then we say if I is greater than k num chickens, we set the prefab to a borrower, burrower. So we say bar prefab here is equal to chicken prefab, but if we have spawned all the chickens, instead spawn the burrower prefab, which doesn't exist here yet. So let's add that. Burrower here. So then we say prefab equals m burrower prefab. Okay, then we just spawn it. I spelled it wrong. Use the prefab. Okay, so what do we expect to see? I don't actually want to apply an ABB in this case, so let's just make these separate cases. Okay. Because we only want to set the chickens ABB. We won't set the burrowers. Burrow doesn't have one, it'll crash. So yeah, okay, there's a burrower. Is he doing what we want him to do? There's no way to know because actually I didn't add any indication of anything. Maybe he's moving through his state machine. We have no way to know because his state machine doesn't do anything. Okay, but it spawned in the burrower. He was playing the animation like we expected. It's something. It's something. So I guess we just need like a target Y. And target Y, say 0 to begin with. And then we have a private float M burrow offset Y. So the question is sort of, I think we can say it's like -.5. We use this burrow offset to determine like how much we should move up. And we can probably just do this on start. We would want to do this under teleporting, but we don't have teleporting yet, so it's fine. We're just going to set it to one thing. Actually, we do want up versus down, so I think we want a pelvic puncture here. That's like private void go up. And in this case, we want to say m target y is equal to my transform plus that offset thing. Is that negative? Yeah, let's get rid of it. We'll just minus in the problem case. This is go up, and this is go down. I should be more specific. I'll say I set up target, set down target. In this case, we want to subtract the offset. Let's make it bigger. I think it might be something like 0.5 for the end, like for it working. But if I make it bigger, it'll be more dramatic for now. Okay. So start going to be set up target. If going down, we say set down target. And then here, in this time, the else of this timer check. So we're saying, well, the timer isn't done yet. We want to check if we are going up or going down. Okay. If we're going, in both cases here, we have a target that we want to move towards. I guess the question is just how fast do we get there? In fact, we should just set that here. So we'll private float m delta y rate. So here, this is the rate at which we need to make this change is equal to the offset divided by the amount of time that we'll do the thing. So that's our up duration in this case. And it would be the same, but for the down duration here. And I guess negative if I just want to make it a common path. Okay. So then here, we don't even need to, well, I guess we need to care if we're going up or we're going down, because we don't want to move in the other states. Okay. We're going up or we're going down, then move towards the target. So we'll say transform.position.y plus equals time.delta time times, and like, what did I call it? Something delta y rate. And it's not going to let me do a plus equals. We'll just say float new y is transform.position.y plus this. And then we do transform.position is equal to new vector 3. Transform position.x, keep the x. New y, and 0. If it has some z, it shouldn't. Alright, we got our burrowers. Are they moving? Doesn't seem like they are. Alright, why not? Let's debug one of these boys. Maybe they're not initially. Oh, we have to go back and restart the game, I think. I have a feeling the state machine is wrong somehow. I didn't mean to break here anymore. Oh. We did not add this component to anything. That's what it was. Alright, so we're going to go to resources, prefabs, enemies, burrower, and add that component of burrower, whatever I called it. Burrower. Perfect. Oh, we don't need to debug this anymore. Although I see no burrowers, maybe we do need to debug. Burrowers, are you somewhere? Are you crashing? No. Where are they? Oh. Your sprite oh, I never re-enabled their sprite render, I guess. They are moving up and down. Oh, I guess I have to... This is where I should do this. Re-enable the sprite... When the player gets close by enough, enable the sprite renderer. And start, like, doing the timers and stuff. Still see no burrowers. Oh, there's one. And he is sort of moving up and down and waiting and moving up and then I'm moving up again. Okay. Just given the amount of time I have, I want to find a good balance between like not quitting too early and not taking on something I know I can't finish in a reasonable amount of time. I should say responsible amount of time to still make dinner and wake up for work tomorrow. So what we're going to do is to sort of get a simple in-between version of teleporting. I'm just going to give him a new, he's going to reroll an X position. So he's not actually like going into specific platforms like we want him to, and we will set him up to do eventually, but we can still set up sort of the framework of up, shoot, down, teleport. And then at a future time, we can fix our teleport function to do a better thing. So we're going to add private void, set new base position. We'll call it as AKA teleport. And it's going to be really simple. It's going to say, we'll set a private or a const float k chunk bound coef, chunk x bound coef of like 0.35, I guess. And then we say platform spawner. That's chunk size dot x times k chunk bound x coef. So this is our x range. And then we will roll a new position. X pos is random dot range from negative x range to x range. And then we say transform dot position equals new vector 3 x pos transform dot position dot y 0. Okay, and then the correct time to call it would be stay down here. So we'll call it, or it's set new base position. Okay. Oh, they're doing it. See, look, there he goes. He's up, down. Pete barely moved there, but he did. He had a more dramatic move. Did I break it? Is this right? This move doesn't seem correct. Oh yeah, there's a bigger jump. We just got 2 bad rolls in a row. Yeah, there he jumped across the entire thing, and then I just killed him. See, like here you can see a rough example of the idea just by accident. Although did he just die? Are we dealing with another timed life thing, or? Oh no, he just teleported. But yeah, see, this is the idea. Uh-oh. That's fine. Okay, so the last little bit to have like a full functional unit here that sure isn't polished, isn't dealing with all the complexities, but has the core ideas, would be to add a projectile. So I think we already have a projectile prefab we can use from the Burrow boss. We just need something like a shoot. I'm pretty sure I have a shoot interface. Yeah, Q spawn I shoot. Or we'll say a shoot a static nova. Projectile? Oh, I have to switch to assets. Projectile? Yeah, Burrow projectile. Say to none of this matters. I guess we'll do it slightly above our boy. No timer, we're gonna call this. base num bullets, we'll say he shoots anywhere from 3 to 7 bullets. So that's 5 plus or minus 2. And then here, shoot soon. We're going to shoot right now. Well, I guess we need to get our shoot component first, our shoot interface. So private q spawn I shoot. Q spawn, sure. That's misleading. Q shoot. Or even get the Q out of there. The Q is for sorting. So say mshoot equals, hey, Visual Studio. See, I'm telling you. Why am I doing an ad for Visual Studio all the time? But I don't know. I am impressed by this. And then here. You just say like shoot, right? Yeah. Okay, so the idea is they start down, then they pop up. When they reach the height of their pop up, they shoot. Actually, you know what we should do? We should make this happen at half the time they're staying up. You know what I mean? I don't think you want to give telegraphs are like everything in games, right? You want to warn players what's about to happen so that they can then change what they're doing so it's good for them. So we're gonna, instead of shooting the second we get up, we're gonna add a little helper function to shoot shortly after. So we'll say do shoot attack. How about? And it's just shoot dot shoot. And then here, instead of calling it directly, we'll invoke it. Did I say do shoot attack? Oh, it needs a return type. Name of do shoot attack. And the time will be half the time of the stay up duration. All right, let's see if it works. Not really. Kinda. Let's see what's wrong here. Why are you not shooting? Are we missing a shoot force or something? Shot speed. And maybe not set rotation. Let's try something like this. I also think there's something weird going on with this. Let's just... Why? I guess maybe the bullets don't have all the components they need. What do you do, shoot? How do you actually work? Okay. I guess, yeah, let's break here and see what direction is being passed in. None? Oh, I see. Why is this happening, though? Oh, I think like the Nova I'm using, yeah, I have to call shoot Nova instead of just shoot. Shoot Nova is calling shoot for me by like calculating a range of directions and stuff. So we're gonna take this and replace shoot with shoot Nova. So since I wasn't passing any direction, it had no direction to move and it was just falling down. Are you sure? Oh, I need to, yeah, shoot doesn't have it, but whatever the static Nova class does. Shoot static nova. What? What's the problem? Oh, inaccessible. How do I make this happen? Oh, I guess I wasn't intending to call it externally, but I see no reason why it shouldn't be able to be called externally. I don't know. It's just expecting to use the timer, and I just don't want to use the timer. Actually, I should check. Is it always using the timer? No, yeah, so it just, as long as I don't have a timer listener, it won't fire on its own. And then you spawn shoot static nova. Okay. Still looks wrong. Did I not save? We still have our breakpoints from before. Let's see what happens. Okay, yeah, we do have directions and stuff. What is happening? I feel like the symbols might be wrong. Oh, okay, here we are. Are we missing? I think we might be missing this shoot specific direction component on these bullets. Let's add them. Actually, I think that might be intentional for the Burrow boss. Like, it's actually trying to shoot pebbles in a thing. So let's make a new one. So let's copy this, or just duplicate it and move it over to enemies. Or let's rename it first. Burrow projectile. Move it to enemies. And then on the enemy, we change his shoot prefab to that. Burrower. And then on the object, we add that missing movement interface, which, yeah, confirmed it does not have. Okay. Oh, we need this. I see. Sure. Okay, we're good. Do move MV, I guess move translation. And specific direction. And probably like 8 for move speed. Let's see how this looks. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's probably way more than intended. And I still need to figure out what's going on with this like ceiling rain thing. I think that might be some post-processing bug where these glow. I guess I can check that really quick by just oh, I guess I'd have to make them non-damaging, but let's see. They won't hurt me anymore, but do they still weirdly like go on the screen? No. So yeah, that's something related to do with that is something related to post-processing. Good to know. Let me, before I forget, I'm just gonna put this back to enemy damage, I guess is what it's supposed to be. See, I already forget. I have to go to version control. Oh no, it's enemy damage. I'm pretty sure. Okay. What was I doing? Yeah, something. Oh, right. It's weird that there are bullets raining from the sky because in theory, we should be calling our like, are you near the player thing? Do we say not? Is that all it is? No. Basically, the guys that are way high up should not be allowed to shoot yet because the player shouldn't have gotten close enough. So what's the deal with that? So this guy, if I go to the debug inspector, tell me about your Burrow script. It is initially activated. So there's something wrong with this call, I guess. Or there might be something wrong with the way I called it. How could this possibly pass? I gotta step through it, I think. The math must, one of the numbers must be broken, or maybe the player is in an undefined position when this first gets called. There's a lot of possibilities here, but there's something wrong with this function call is triggering initially activated too soon. Okay, Y is 300. There's no way this should be within the player's spawn distance. Oh, it's this. So yeah. This is updating at some earlier time than I expect. That the first update is happening before. Oh, it's probably this. Yeah, it's this. You can't do this. But the world manager is just, I can get it another way. And also the default behavior shouldn't be just returning true. Default behavior should be returning false. But yeah, we don't need to hold the world anymore. We got rid of this pattern. Instead, what we do is there just is one copy of the world for everyone to go get. And let's see if plant spawn manager also needs that fix. I think this is part of my problem with not plant spawn box, plant manager. Plant. Yeah, plant manager. Get rid of this pattern. I think this is part of my reload issues. So it's sort of keeping up the trend of like accidentally getting those reload issues one by one. Hopefully when I finally get to actually trying to fix reload, it'll just be fixed. How cool would that be? Right. Okay. So yeah, what was happening there was we were getting the world manager in an incorrect old way. So the world manager was null, and the behavior this had was if the world manager is null, then yeah, you can do your thing. So now we see one box of one shot, and that's it. This shot is probably not representative at all. It's like much too big. It's yeah, it would be much. Look at that. That's ridiculous. Although it looks like it's not hurting. Oh no, it is hurting me. It looks like it only hurts me sometimes. Like it has a weird spawn box. But yeah, it's the tuning is a little wild, and I'm probably going to die briefly. But the idea is here. Do we hit a... Ooh. Right. So I was wondering, I was spamming time stop there, wondering why nothing was happening. It's because it crashed, because there is an assumption that everything at least has a movement. But we don't really care about, you know, we could go through the movement for the Burrower and have this just work. But the truth is we don't really care about do not care about stopping him in his tracks. That we care about the bigger thing is we want to stop his state machine. So I think rather than just this, we're just gonna, this can be the general for stopping movements will not work for something that doesn't have movement, or for something that like where pausing means something more complicated than stopping movement. So yeah, we'll just have our Burrower script subscribe to those time stop events. So looks like we lost it up there. Grab it. Let's start and undestroy. And then we'll just have a bool. Private bool and state machine paused is false. But we're going to add a callback here that is private void on time stopped, where we would equals true. Oh, and I guess I need a bool stopped. Right? Is that it? No? Look at your time stop. Oh, it's a duration. That works as well. So we can just have a pause time. Private void unpause time. This as false. And then this invokes that. And then down here we have if state machine paused, return. Actually, I think we want it here. No. There. And just change this to pause time. Okay, let's make sure that works, and that'll probably be it for today. Yeah, we're past 9 here. Still, this is pretty much all I set out for. I did have like level transitions on here, but I did know that was a stretch goal. I actually wasn't expecting to make it all the way to Burrower. And I guess Burrower still does have some temp elements, but in that he still needs to like find the platform he wants to spawn in and teleport between platforms and stuff like that. And it looks like these bullets don't actually work. I need to review these bullets. But does he time stop? Yes? No. Yeah, it's just crashing. What's up with that? Oh, okay. Okay, here's what happened. I didn't remove that time stop movement listener from them. So let's remove that. And that crash might have been interfering with the event propagation. We'll see. I have to wait for my watch to come off cooldown. Okay, yeah, it seems like he stopped in his tracks. Yeah, I think we're good. Let me see, I can keep going up and see if I find one with more burrowers. And then I also need to make a note that, yeah, they're stopped. Cool. Okay. So, Burrower still needs to target platforms, and it seems like its bullets don't work damage-wise, and in general needs tuning pass. But that being said, it's just a few tuning passes here. You know, we add a few platform types, we changed the location of those spawn boxes. We replaced those squares with the actual little burrow sprite we have, and we have a full level here. If the burrowers work, and we have a few more platform variants, this is a full level of the game that just hasn't had a tuning pass. So like we really are close to this milestone. Here I can, after this run through, I'll hop back up to the Google Doc, which I can actually just do now. Pretty tired. Let's see where we're at Google Doc wise. Oh, I lost my window. Docs. Yeah, so there is still a decent chunk of work to do for the mobile platform. It does have a work in progress placeholder UI, but it hasn't been like updated along with the rest of the UI changes. So that's a thing to do. Meadow, this is pretty much what we did today. I'm gonna flip this to green as soon as I fix that burrower, and I add in the rats and add a few platforms. So this is the bosses. They are pretty functional, but like you saw, the rat jumping up to the moon, there are a few changes that need to be made there. Challenge, I guess, is the one major thing that's missing, but this first challenge for pre-alpha should be really easy. The later challenges can maybe be harder, the line in the bubble, but this is just spawning things. Yeah, I can spawn things. We spawned things all today. Representative controller. The controller is pretty representative. We just have a few major bugs left from turning this green. You saw some of them today with the ledge grab bugs, the one-way platform fall through bug, stuff like that. Placeholder sprite is just stuff like that like stump we added today, that tree stump. Placeholder UI, I think the main UI is good enough for this to be green, but this is also taking into account the mobile aspect, where the mobile has its own UI. There's a bit of post-processing cleanup I'd like to do, and there are some effects that need to be cleaned up as well. But other than that and sound, we're almost ready to call this pre-alpha done and get the game in some people's hands, which is exciting times here. I don't want to keep putting like dates on it that I might miss, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic. We are getting close. It should be soon. So thanks for tuning in if you did. Thanks for your sort of interest in the game and its dev. Catch me on all the social medias, Quiet Ben Zen, YouTube, Twitter, and such, and have a good night.